only promote the truth.
Here we are. We are live at the 7-week real New Testament campaign. Mr. and Dr. David Price and I, we're going to be doing 3 sessions today. We really feel confident about the content we're going to share. We're going to give a lot of value because I'm going to be working from the Promote the Truth page on a lot of this and teaching people. So good morning to you, Dr. David Price. What's going on? What are you thinking about? What's happening?
This is great. This is a great morning. So excited doing this 7-week campaign, week number 1. I'm just excited. We already generated $2,100. So praise y'all. We're looking to do more today.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time today, man. What I love about it is people are gonna really, let me make sure I got my comments lined up here. All right, now I got the screen. People are gonna learn a lot today. We're gonna help you learn. We're gonna really dig in deep. So for those of you that are coming on live, we're waiting for some folks to chime in. And then a lot of people, you know what? They get on, they really watch it because we get a lot of comments on the post live.
Okay. Right.
Well, because we let these run on the post, so it's really cool to watch what's happening. So let's just kind of like warm this thing up. Let's talk about, you start your day. So Dr. David Price, when you come to starting out your day in the Word, what is like your relationship with Yahuwah when you first get up? Is there anything that you typically do?
Yeah. Of course, I read in the evening. We're to do that day and night. So I read before I go to bed, like that to be the last thing that I do. And right now, I'm looking at the book of Enoch. So that's been helpful. The last couple of weeks I've been studying Daniel, and incidentally, I've been praying for the gift of wisdom, the sevenfold spirit that it talks about in Isaiah 11:1 and 2. And I've been getting dreams every night, and he's been giving me a little bit of understanding of what's going on.
You've been getting dreams?
Every night, the last maybe 5 nights.
Wow.
And I never know what my dreams mean, but these I do. He explains to me, this is what's going on. I'm getting that understanding. So I do that in the evening, and then in the morning, I concentrate on Proverbs, and it's like, boom, boom. He's hitting me with everything that he talked about the night before, and in my dream, it's coinciding with Proverbs. So I do my evening, then I do my Proverbs in the morning, then I look at try to do the Psalms midday. So that way I try to stay connected to Yah.
That's big when you think about it. It's big. This is how you start. What I always have told myself is before I eat any physical food or drink any physical drink, mm-hmm. I drink the Word. I eat the Word first. So I've got to read at least a chapter in the scriptures before I do anything. Now with the translation project, I'm eating almost immediately. So I'm like, boom, right now I'm just digging in. I'm eating and feeding. And so I stay away from, any type of nutrients from a physical standpoint to make sure. I think your body's really sensitive at that time. And I know you're big into fitness and nutrition, and you got some world-class athletes for children. So maybe you could talk a little bit about the importance of nutrition in the morning and that relation.
Absolutely. And I subscribe to that same mindset. Me and my sons, we don't eat before we work out. Now we may drink a protein drink, but we don't eat before we work out. We'll do that after we work out. Like you said, your mindset is different. You're not sluggish. You're ready to go. So yeah, I agree with that as well.
Yeah, we're gonna get it in today. All right, we're on our telethon. So what's the purpose of today? We're doing these three sessions. What's the purpose of today and you putting this platform together? And you really were honed in about we got to go big and strong on this Friday on November 10th. Talk to us.
Okay. The purpose is to complete our goal. you have a vision. Yah's laid something on you, and you're doing it. Like you said, whether or not we raise these funds in this 7 weeks, we're going to do it. But it'll expedite. We talked about that. That the word of Yahuwah has to go to the four ends of the earth. Now that time period is based on those that are assigned to do it. You being one of them. Praise Yah. And this mission is to do just that, to expedite it, to make sure when that trumpet sounds that we did our part. We got the word out. So we have a 7-week campaign. It's going to start today. The 7 weeks actually starts November the 13th and concludes December the 31st. And we want to raise. Now we talked about that 25,000, but when we did the metrics from my estimation, that was a D, and that's a minimum. We can get some things done, but the 100,000 is what we're looking for in a 7-week period. And since we have a creator that the earth is Yahuwah's in the fullness thereof, and all they that, man, 100 shouldn't be nothing. So we want to try to get possibly the minimum 25,000. This would allow, of course, Jay and your team to be able to translate the scriptures in a time period of 3 months. So by the Passah 2024, spring 2024, people can have in their hands, not a stapled 19-piece, a beautifully bound book of the New Testament with correct translation. So this is major. That's major.
Yeah, I just think it's important. And, we're going to dig into the deep stuff today, too. One thing you'll learn about myself, we promote the truth. Dr. Dave, what I really appreciated about him is he's all about the truth, about real talk. We got to get people to think right. As a person thinks, so they are. However you think is the way you are. That's why it says when it starts to break it down in Yahuhanan and in John, it says, in the beginning was the word. Mm-hmm. Let's break that down real quick. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with Alua. Alua means mighty one. Right. People mistakenly call that person God. That is a mistake. We know that's a pagan. So if we go, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with Alua, and then it says, and the word was Alua. There's something about words that is very important to the Most High. So important that he spoke the world into existence rather than just thought the world into existence. Good. Why did it say, he said, let there be light. And it was so. So everything he called out, he claimed it to be, he had to speak it. So the way that we're talking starts with the way that we're thinking. So what we want to do is address both. How do your thoughts interact with your words? And then how do your words create your reality? So a lot of folks that, that are involved in spirituality and religion and whatnot, they're not getting that Yahuwah's not going to strike your car with the bolt of lightning and say, go do it now. Right. He's already told us what to do. So that's the importance. How do you feel about words, Dr. David?
You hitting it right on the head. We have to call things that aren't as though they already are. So if, as you said, if man think of in his heart, so is he. So if we believe it, if we put our mindset into believing it, then our actions are going to be in that same mindset. I saw something on that same line today. Okay. My son sent me this post, and it was dealing with an experiment done in like 1950. But it was the scientists had put some mice in some water, and he would see how long they would swim before they drowned. And it was about 15 minutes. So what he did with the next group is right when he got to the point of that 15 minutes, that exhaustion, he pulled them out, and then they wiped them off, gave them a little rest, and then they put them back in. Now, guess how long they were able to swim from 15 minutes at the brink of death to the second time? Just take a guess, Jay. Just take a wild guess. I'm going to give you 2.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. No. Give me one more. Longer.
12 minutes.
Okay, no. They were able to swim for 60 hours. 2.5 days.
Once they got to the brink of death.
once they got to the break of death and were relieved because they had anticipated, they had already experienced, we went through something, that they were going to be rescued. And that's the way our minds work. Once we go through something, as a man thinketh, now once he sees that Yah has delivered me from this one, this is how we're able to get through all that other stuff. So that was pretty good. And it's following right along with what you said.
Hey, y'all do us a favor. Share this out. Share this out. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. These are little bitty things that we can do to support and grow and get algorithms out here flowing. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do something I've never, ever done on a live stream. Ever done on a live stream. And I'm just going based on the spirit. This is a telethon. We're doing a fundraiser for the True Scriptures Project, New Testament. That's the Briyt Hadash. No version that we can find today. And I challenge anybody to bring one to the table and say that this word that we translated into English, we're talking about translations into English. I, in 30 years, have not been able to find one scripture that is not either distorted, that is not influenced negatively by the Catholic Church, that is not influenced by Latin, the Latin Vulgate, that's not influenced by Greek writings from the Greek pagan culture. I haven't found one from front to back. We're just talking about the regular canon now. We're going to get into the lost books as we start moving with the project down the year, a couple years down the road. People keep asking us about Jubilees and Enoch and all those things. There's a whole bunch of those different versions that have come out that we're screening through to make sure they line up with the canons that we got now. So we haven't found one. Now, y'all got to understand, when I say these words out of my mouth, this ain't typical just saying it. I'm just going to be very bold today because you got to approach the throne boldly. We're not doing it from arrogance. We're doing it from boldness in the scriptures, in the word. Study to show thyself approved. From 2004 to the end of 2007, I spent 6 to 10 hours per day. That's about 3.5 years. 6 to 10 hours a day studying the origins of words, studying Greek, Aramaic, Hebrew, just understanding where do these languages, how they originate, where they progress to, and how did we get to English? Dr. David, how did we get to English?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever thought that if you're reading English scriptures, have you ever thought, how did we even get to first speaking English in the first place? What's your thoughts on that, Dr. David?
It's called the transatlantic slave trade. That introduced our family to it. But so I would say there we're going to go back.
Well, go on back. Because somebody started talking English sometime.
Okay.
This is what will trip people out, because people just assuming that what they've been handed is accurate. And because it's got something to do with the creator's word, oh, he must have. This is people's stance, Dr. David. People's stance is there's no way that the creator would let his word get corrupted. There's no way he would let that happen. And I say, are you out of your mind to think that he wouldn't let it happen? As a matter of fact, why y'all gonna make me go? See, y'all, Dr. David think he's slick. He's setting me up to go in. See, he think he's slick. All right, we're going over to 2 Thessalonians, Dr. David. We're going over
Thessalonians.
We're going over to 2 Thessalonians. Yeah, we got to go over there.
Let's check.
We got to go to 2 Thessalonians.
Let's check. Mate and 3.
2 Thessalonians, chapter 2. We're going to work this one today. I usually go down to verse 9 from the gate. I'm going to go from the top. Let's go 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and we're going to go from verse 1. And what you're going to love is the index that I got that we're putting out here. You're going to know these words correctly. So Thessalonians would be Tashlanikim. 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 So I want y'all, I'm gonna put that, let me see if I can put that in the chat. That way y'all can know, we can learn as we go today. Let me see if this picks up. It'd be great if it picked up over here. That would be great. Pick up for me over here. So I can, there we go. That's that. All right, I'm gonna put this in the chat. I got some good stuff working over here. This is gonna be mentorship, leadership, coaching, discipleship moments during this telethon. And when you feel inspired, you see it up on the screen, tsnt.org. Go over and do something. We're here being very blunt. We're raising funds to expedite this process because of the fact of what we're talking about. How did English get here? All right, so look over in the chat. That's how you spell that correct. That's Thessalonians in the correct Abari, Hebrew. That's Thessalonians in the correct Hebrew spelling. Right. Hey, good to see you. All right, we got Manny coming in. We got Yvette coming in.
Manny, that's the kingdom builder.
All right, that's the kingdom builder?
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, Manny. We love you. All right, Yvette said, yeah, we in school today. People not going, so when you talk about you're going to get these special sessions, for those of you that are, getting involved with our gold and platinum packages, and we do these special calls, you get to come on here and pick the brains of people that's done studied to show themselves approved. All right. So people say, there's no way that the creator of all, would Yahuwah let his word get distorted? Well, here we go. You ready to go in, David?
I'm ready. I said check.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. Everybody get over there. Tashla Nakim, chapter 2, 2nd Tashla Nakim, chapter 2, verse 1. As the coming of our master Yahushua Messiah and our gathering together to him, we ask you, brothers, not to become easily unsettled in mind or troubled, either by spirit or by word or by letter, as it is from us, as if, now listen, as if the day of Yahuwah has come. I got chills, Dave. He's telling us, you got to act today as if it's the day that Yahuwah has come. What you going to do with that, Dave? Before I go in, we had 2 verses, and Dr. David, who is a doctor of theology, he done been in the trenches in his word. What you got to say about those first 2 verses right there?
Well, first of all, this is the reason for the project, because when I look at it in the King James Version, it takes on a totally different meaning of what you just said. It says in that verse, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. Now, having a better understanding of what the actual words were, that Yahuwah is at hand. We don't have time to waste. We can't play around. The time is at hand. We have to move like he's coming as a thief in the night. I love it.
It actually says as if the day of Yahuwah has come. So it's already a past event. He's here. He's already doing stuff. There's people ruling and reigning with him. Are you going to be one of those ones? That's the question for everybody listening in. As if the day of Yahuwah has come. So if it's already come, are you over there already locked and loaded with him? Or are you over there with questions in your mind? So that's why we got to deal with, would Yahuwah let his word get disturbed? All right, let's keep going. Verse 3. Let no one deceive you in any way. See, that's why when you come and talk to me, you better bring your A game, because I've been warned in the scriptures, do not let anyone deceive you in any way. So if you throw out a verse, I want to know how you got to that verse. I want to know where it came from. I'm going to keep going.
Yep.
Because the falling away, why does he say don't be deceived? He says because the falling away is to come first.
Okay.
He says it's going to be a great falling away. Guess what's already happened? See, we passed this time. Most people think when they read that's a time to come. The great falling away, if you study history, listen, let's go. Okay. On the day when Kappa came out, Good to see you, Marcel. Good to see you, Hebrew Pastor 84. When he came out, Kappa came out of the upper room leading with the 12, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They added how many to Yahuwah's to the following day? Does anybody know? Can anybody put? Go ahead and say it, Dr. David. How many they added that day?
3,000.
Huh? 3,000 that day.
3,000.
Now, you tell me how long it would take you in the United States of America to pull 3,000 tried in the true blue Yahuwah followers. How long would it take us to get 3,000 in the United States of America to call on Yahuwah? How long would it take? Where they at?
Where they at?
How many would you say? I'm just going, not around the world right now. Right. In the United States of America, what they call the dominant global power, how many people would you guess follow Yahuwah, love him with all their heart, soul, mind, and strength? Woo! You want to know why you can't hardly find them? They're so scattered. It's like finding needles in a haystack. Because it says here in the scriptures, let no one deceive you in any way, because the falling away is to come first. And then it says, and the man of lawlessness is to be revealed, the son of destruction. And then we got a note here to go see Daniel chapter 11, 36 through 39. What y'all gonna make me do? See, y'all rarely catch me up in this mode. Look, Dr. David loving it. Why are you loving this, Doc? You over there.
I love it. I told you it's mating 3.
If I go over to Daniel chapter 11, 36 through 39, and the sovereign shall do as he pleases and exalt himself and show himself to be great above every mighty one, speak incredible matters against the allure of mighty ones, Yahuwah himself, and shall prosper until the wrath has been accomplished. For what has been decreed shall be done, and have no regard for the mighty ones of his fathers, nor for the desire of women, nor, I wonder who this is sounding like. Mm-hmm. What does it sound like? Does this sound anything like the Catholic priest? Mm-hmm. Having no desire for women, nor have any regard for any mighty one, but exalt himself above them all. What they call the Pope? Mm-hmm. They call him the Father.
Papa Bull. Mm-hmm.
They're calling him the Father. I don't know if y'all paying attention. They're calling him the Almighty Father. 38, but in his place he shall give esteem to a mighty one of strongholds. Guess who that is? Jesus. Jesus. That's your stronghold that's been on the world. That Latinized Greek is what I'm telling you what the scripture's talking about. But in his place he shall give esteem to a mighty one of strongholds, and to a mighty one which his fathers did not know. And he shall give esteem with gold and silver, with precious stones and costly gifts. And he shall act against the strongholds with a foreign mighty one. And he shall acknowledge, which he shall acknowledge. He shall increase in esteem and cause them to rule over many and divide the land for gain. All right. So what I read over in Tasla Nakim, it hit me right. It hit us, me, you. It said this man of lawlessness, right? Yeah. There's a big, great falling away. There was a great persecution. Why did it fall away? 3,000 were added that day. The Yahudim was spreading everywhere. It's off the charts, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what we're going to do in one of these sessions today, we're going to read word for word Constantine's creed.
Come on.
We're going to read Constantine's creed today, and I'm going to prove this scripture has already happened, right? And the man that went nuts on this is Constantine. And the reason the great falling away happened is because the persecution was so severe. And hardly one of you has even scratched anywhere near the persecution that the original Nazarene followers of Yahuwah HaMashiach had went through. Hardly any of them, and we aren't even scratched any of that. Now, I done been through hell and high water and still ain't scratched.
Yeah.
Them taking your kids and putting them on stakes and burning them with hot oil and cutting off everything possible. We ain't been in that kind of fire yet.
Yeah.
Now watch this. Verse 4. Look at it. It's the lawlessness is to be revealed, the son of destruction. It's
Right.
Jesus. That's the son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called Alua, or that is worship, so that he sits as Alua in the dwelling place of Alua, showing himself that he is Alua. That's what you think the Pope is calling himself right now. That's a fact. Anybody want to argue that? Put it in the chat if you want to argue that. That's what's happened right now. Right. Verse 5. Do you not remember that I told you this while I was still with you? Man, Shaul ain't playing right here. He goes, do you not know? That's why when people say it was Paul a false prophet, I'm gonna say, you crazy. That shows that you are, if that's what you believe, that shows your weakness. That shows you need to get in the word. That shows that you're actually rejecting the most outspoken of them, which was Kappa. Which Yahusha said, what? I'm gonna build my assembly on this rock. Right. And the person that he said he's gonna build his assembly on was Kappa, told us specifically that Shaul is good. Mm-hmm. But he says to the what? Unlearned. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to distort his word as they do with everything else. So you got, because you know what he's saying about it? What's your thoughts on what I'm saying so far, Dr. Price?
Right on point. This is what Christianity develops their whole theology of the misunderstanding of the Apostle Paul.
Yeah. You know, literally. So it goes both ways. You got people that call on Yahuwah, they'll start going, well, Paul's a false apostle. Right. The Briyt Hadash is a false book. Briyt Hadash is a false book. Paul's a false prophet. And I'm like, you're not learned. You're just saying stuff off of emotion. Get down in the scriptures. Study to show yourself approved. I'm going in. All right, verse 6. And now you know what restrains. And now you know what restrains for him to be revealed in his time. For the secret of lawlessness is already at work, only until he who now restrains comes out of the midst. They're saying that the lawlessness, what is lawlessness? What would you say, Dr. Price? What's lawlessness?
Lawlessness is not following the Torah.
That's it. You got 10 words that establish. How do we know what we're talking about? Because if you say that you believe in Yahusha, HaMashiach, like if you say I follow him, if the scriptures tell us to walk as he walked. Mm-hmm. And when the rich young man ran up to him and he says, Master, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What's the first thing Yahusha said to him? Can anybody put in the chat the first thing that Yahusha responded to the rich man when he asked him? It's a great question. All of us should be asking, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What was Yahusha HaMashiach? I'm looking in the chat.
I'm on the chat.
Is anybody? Look at Manny. Manny is on it. He said, you know the commandments. The first words that Yahusha said was, you know the commandments, and then he starts quoting some of the 10. Yeah. So we know specifically what he's talking about, right? He literally told him, he said right away, so he said the way to eternal life is you got to know the commandments, follow those commandments, guard those commandments. That's what he said. Yahusha said that. How many are teaching that in the churches today?
Well, Jay, the commandments, they done away with, though, Jay.
You know what the pastors say that I've heard? They go, well, he said that because he knew nobody could keep them. Well, is the same as the Briyt Hadash that you're reading, and even in that Greek translation, when it says that the commandments are not burdensome.
That's right.
So why would you say nobody could keep them if the same New Testament is saying that they're not burdensome?
Mm-hmm.
That anyone who says that I love the Creator but does not keep His commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. That's in the same New Testament that they're reading.
1 John.
You know, so pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go on both sides.
That's
Yeah,
right.
look, Hebrew Pastor 84 said that's what they say.
That's right.
Now look, we're in here teaching because I'm the do y'all see where I've taken one question and I'm now going to a certain place in scripture and I'm pulling out so many things to show you. That's what's inside our mentorship, our discipleship. That's why you want to get close with the leaders to promote the truth, because this ain't no joke up in here. Here we go. I'm going in. Y'all ready?
All right. I've noticed many Freemasons in the Torah community. Go ahead.
For the secret of lawlessness is already at work, only until he who now restrains comes out of the midst. Verse 8. And then the lawless one shall be revealed. And then the lawless one shall be revealed. Verse 8. Mm-hmm. Whom the master shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. There's the words again, David. Mm-hmm. How's he going to do it? He's just going to speak that he's destroyed.
That's right.
And bring to nothing with the manifestation of his coming. So Yahuwah says, when I come, all I got to do is speak, and I'm going to destroy this nonsense. But before I come, he about to tear us up starting in verse 9. Yahuwah is about to challenge you. Yahuwah is about to challenge everyone listening to me today. And here, brother Price, watch. He said the coming of the lawless one is according to the what? The working of who? Satan. Now watch what he says here. Being given all power.
How much power?
Signs, all power. Yahuwah has said right there, I'm going to give Satan all power to do signs and wonders of falsehood. Who's giving Satan that?
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah said, and he's going to explain to us here in a minute why he's willing to do that. He's going to explain to us why he's willing to give Satan all power to perform signs and wonders, right? Of falsehood.
Wait a minute, Jay. So those who are have that corrupt name that seen a family member healed or saw that they were taken off of drugs and they saw these wonders, you saying that was power given by Yahuwah to Satan to deceive?
Fact. That's what the word says. You got to decide if you believe the word. And then he's going to tell us why he does it.
Okay.
He ain't going to just say it and he going to leave us. And then it says in verse 10, and with all deceit of unrighteousness in those who are perishing, because they did not receive the love of the truth in order for them to be saved. What'd you get from that?
So they had a choice. When they heard the truth, couldn't refute the truth, couldn't show that the truth was not the truth, but still chose to believe a lie, that Yahuwah said, I'm going to turn you over. I'm going to give you up to that and allow you to believe that lie.
Would that include I'm going to allow my word to even be distorted?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So why would he allow the word to be distorted?
I got you. Mm-hmm.
To deceive those who don't love the truth.
There you go.
Because once he gives you his spirit, Yahuwah Ruah, the spirit, it will teach you all things. So when you read that word, you'll be able to discern, is this right or not? That's why when I read the word, I can quickly discern it like that. Because Yahuwah Ruach is in me. And so when I read that word, I can spin all over it and go, oh, check, no, that word, that's not right. Oh, yeah, that's on point. All right, now watch. Verse 10, right? Because they didn't love to be, all right, so we said in order for them to be saved. Verse 11, it's going to get stronger. And for this reason, Alua, who? Yahuwah the Alua sends them a working of a delusion for them to actually believe the lie. Yahuwah is the one. Yahuwah says, if you don't love the truth, you don't have to guess who's going to actually deceive you. It's going to be me, Yahuwah says. Yahuwah literally says he's going to be the one that sends the delusion to you, working through Satan, giving Satan all the power to do these signs and wonders. But it was him that gave the power. He gave the stamp, and he allowed it to happen. Because if you don't love the truth, you're going to get fooled when the truth is right in front of you. Now watch. Keep going. You got it, David? Because I'm going to finish right here.
Yep.
All right, to believe the falsehood. Verse 12. Why? In order that all should be judged and condemned who did not believe the truth, but have actually delighted in unrighteousness. So my question, back to the question, how do we get to this English? And would Yahuwah allow these, quote, words that have it literally on the cover of what people call Yahuwah's words, has a pagan name on it. It says Bible, from the pagan Biblio. So how are you going to tell me that's his word if it says Bible on the cover? I'm going to sit here for a second, see what you're going to do with this, Dr. David. I'm sitting here for a second. Come on, where you at, Dr. David? Talk to me.
That's mate. That's mate right there. That's simple. We understand. And that's the way that in Christianity, that's the way that I thought. That's the way that I taught. That the Holy Spirit is going to make sure that his word is preserved. And we just read in 2 Thessalonians that because we moved away from truth, he said, I'm going to allow you. Because you did this, I'm going to allow you to believe the lie. I'm going to allow you to see the wonders. I'm going to allow you to see the powers. And because of your rejecting of the truth and loving unrighteousness is moving away from what's right. What's right? The commandments that we said we didn't want to do. I'm going to allow you to believe it, including this word.
And you said it. So you have a lot of Christians come up to you and go, yeah, but what about all these people that got healed in Jesus' name and demons cast out in Jesus' name? Mm-hmm. And I say, are you like ignoring 2 Thessalonians? Mm-hmm. And they go, well, what's that? And then I take them to it. And I say, so let me ask you a question. Is it possible that somebody could actually get healed in Buddha's name, Krishna's name, mm-hmm. Jesus' name, mm-hmm. any other false mighty one? Is it possible that they could get healed? They could get delivered. You can actually see signs and wonders. Is it possible somebody could get rich, be blessed beyond the wildest dreams in giving credence to another name? Is it possible? And they have to say yes. I say the only way you know if you're on the right track is, number one, have you called on the name of Yahuwah? Is he your master? Is he the one that has saved you? Has he given you the promised spirit? Now, after I ask him, David, have you called on Yahuwah? Then I ask him, have you been immersed into his name? Baptized, what they call it. Have you been immersed into his name? And they said, what do you mean? Did I get baptized? People say, when I was like 16 years old, and I was over at the church and I got baptized, Does that count for now? No, it don't count for now. What are we talking about here? We can't like sugarcoat this anymore. We got to promote the truth. There's no power that is eternal living power that will save you other than Yahuwah. That's the only name. There is no other name. Not even Yahusha.
Talk about it.
Not even the name Yahusha can save you. It cannot save you. The only name, there's only one name given that can save you. That's Yahuwah. Yahusha is just a description of who Yahuwah is. He is salvation. You see, that's just a description. His name walking on earth was just a description of what salvation actually is. It's the name. Yahuwah is the name that gives you salvation. So before we go down, let me ask y'all a question. Is this helping anybody in this telethon? That rather than us just talk about, hey, we want to raise the funds, we're providing a lot of value. But go over to tsnt.org, contribute something. Why should they contribute to what we're doing, Dr. David? Why should people contribute in this telethon?
Well, I think you just showed a little bit of it. When we were given that text in the past, it was always told to us that was something futuristic that's coming, not realizing that has already been established. That wicked one is here. He's already established himself. He's already calling himself the seed of the righteous. So because Yah has blessed you with over 30 years of studying, and as you said, putting in 6 hours a day, breaking down that word, Yah has given you
6 to 10, man. I average it out.
6 to 10. You put in
I usually wouldn't go no more than 10.
You said what?
I usually wouldn't go longer than 10, but I never went less than 6 that I can remember.
Okay, so we're gonna say 6 to 10 hours of preparation, where you're able to now look at the word, and Yah has given you that understanding. This is what we want others to have. Now I get it because I tune into your station. Others that follow promote the truth, we get it, but we want the world to get it. We want the world to be able to have this, and it's only. There's only one way that we're going to get it done. Now, we can go to the donor page, but we can make it even easier. How many of y'all have Venmo? If you got Venmo, you can go right to promote the truth in your Venmo account, and you can give. We're trying to raise at least 25,000. If our members can give 100, that's great, but we got packages from 300, 500, 1,000 to 2,500. You can make payments with that. But we're trying to get 25,000 before December 31st. If you have Zelle, now that's what all of the banks, all of the banking companies have that. You go to info@thepromotethetruth.com, info@promotethetruth.com, and you can give directly. All right, some of you young people, you got Cash App. All you got to do is the $ promote the truth. You can send it. We'll wait. I'll wait a second. You're going to send it. That's the $ promote the truth. And then we got the, and I need that one to make sure the Apple Pay. We make sure we get you the Apple Pay, if not this one, but on the next one. So we made it real easy. We don't.
Well, the Apple Pay is when they go click donate, that option will just pop up there for them to do Apple Pay right there on their phone or their computer.
Okay, so you go to the link and you go to Apple Pay and you're able to pay right away. So this is how we're going to get it done. Now, y'all's going to get it done either way. We got Miss Thomas from Raleigh, North Carolina, but we want to make sure that you participate. And on the Promote the Truth page, we're going to have a donor page where you'll be listed as somebody that contributed to Yahuwah's call. You're praying for us. You're supporting it. You're following this call. So that's what we're doing this for. That's what this is about. You hear the difference in the teaching. I had another teacher when I was learning in the Hebrew faith, and I equate that to when Yahusha was teaching, and they said he's teaching with authority, not like these are somebody else's words. Well, a lot of what you hear now, I'm saying what Jay said, and I gotta regurgitate it and say promotethetruth.com. Well, a lot of what Jay is saying is coming straight from Yahuwah, from his studying of 30 years plus 10 hours a day. So that's what this is about. We need to raise the funds. So hopefully, we got it in there. PayPal, that's right, at promotethetruth.com. So it's a lot of different ways. Every way that we got crypto, don't we?
Yeah.
You go on the donor if you have those crypto accounts. I wish I would have, man, they told me to do this 4 years ago when that crypto was cheap, the Bitcoins. And I hesitated on it because I would have been able to fund the whole thing if I'd have listened to my gut, Jay. I didn't do it. But you're able to do the Bitcoin, the crypto. So we have all of these. They're listed down there in the comments. So we need your support. And we want to, we got Anthony DeLumo from South Jersey. He sent in $100 for Anthony DeLumo.
We love some Anthony, man. He a soldier.
Yeah, we call him Yahuwah Man.
He's a soldier, man.
That's modern day John the Baptist right there. And I got my brother Manny Rivera, another one. We call ourselves robots. We only know one thing, and eventually our conversation is gonna go there. Manny is on the field. So we want to see if we can give. We want to make sure that we say your name even on the live broadcast of all that you're doing.
I'm impressed, man, that we got people as far as Hungary.
Oh, yeah.
That is Robert Palsic from Hungary. He contributed $2,000 yesterday. He says he's going to finish up the other $500, get to the platinum pack. What I love about what we've done is we provided so much value in it. Let's break that down on the value portion, and then we'll get back to some more scripture training. But when you go over and you decide to contribute and you do the bronze, you're going to get stuff with that too. So you're going to, do you got in front of you what they're actually going to get, Dr. Price, when they do these things?
Yep. Give me 1 second. We're going to pull that up because we want them to know, just like you said. Exactly.
So while he's pulling that up, I want to get back real quick to the question. Is it possible that Yahuwah's word has been tampered with? And if so, did he allow it to happen? Instead of the thought process of he wouldn't allow his word to do that. Who said that? Where in the scripture? Can you show me a scripture where he says, I will not allow my word to be distorted? He says the exact opposite. He says, if you don't guard my commandments, I'm actually going to turn you over and have you taken into captivity. Why do you think we got Aramaic? Why do you think that every book of the Briyt Hadash is written in Aramaic except 4? We found 4 that were written in Abari, Hebrew. The rest of them were written in Aramaic. Where did Aramaic come from? It came from the Babylonian language. They were taken into captivity, and who let that happen?
Yahuwah.
Who let them get taken into captivity? How come they had to be brought out of Matsri, out of Egypt? Why did they have to be brought out? And they were there for how long? 400 years?
Yep.
If you live to be 100, that means 3 more generations of 100 went by. That means your son, if he lived to be 100, had to be a slave. That means your grandson and granddaughters, your daughters and your sons had to be slaves. Your grandchildren had to be slaves, and your great-grandchildren had to be slaves. That's if they lived to be 100.
Yeah.
They had to be slaves for 400 years. And are you telling me that Yahuwah stopped that? Or did Yahuwah allow that? And if he allowed it, why did he allow it?
We don't even have to put it in the third person, Jay. We can put it in the first person. In 2019 marked the 400 years of us being here in America. So we see it all over again. When the people of Yahuwah move away from Yah, this is the penalty. Now, his mercy. Now, I want to say that because, again, I have that heavy Christian basis. And I know what we see. I'm like Paul. I'm like that converted Paul. I was a Pharisee over there.
Right.
So I understand, what we're teaching with that. So I'm going to tell them real quick what they're going to get in the package.
All right. So we got so Dr. Davis put together 4 packages. He's heading the project up. And so what happens? A person, they decide they want to get the bronze pack, how much it is, and let's work up from there.
Bronze package. That's still a great package. That's $300. And that needs to be paid by December 31st. $300. Now you can pay it 100 here, 100 there, 100 there, but just get it paid by December 31st. You're going to receive a beautifully bound, Promote the Truth, hardcover, autographed copy of the Briyt Hadash. That's the New Testament upon completion of the project, which we anticipate by March, April of 2024. By the Passah, by the Passover time, you'll be able to receive, we'll be shipping that out to you, a beautifully bound hard copy. This is not something stapled together. We're not running down the staples and making you, no, this is a book. Now, the thing is, it's going to be also autographed by Jay. And like I said, I started using a Dakes Bible when I first started studying. And man, I could imagine if I got a personally autographed Dakes or a Tyndale Bible, that would mean something. That's what you get for $300 donation. Then we have our silver package, which is $500. You're going to get that. Oh, and you'll get a t-shirt. You got to give them a t-shirt and a hat that says, I promote the truth. I support promotethetruth.com. I support the truth scriptures. So you're going to get a hat. You're going to get a t-shirt. You're going to get the copy of the Briyt Hadash. And then at the silver package, you're going to receive that. Plus, you're going to get a coffee mug with Promote the Truth on there. I support it. You're going to get VIP access to our upcoming virtual retreat. Sister Lena did a great job. She's helping put that together, where we're going to have all different topics. It's not just going to deal with just our spiritual, but our physical, or how they connect and how it keeps it going. We have doctors that are part of this from all ethnic groups. This is I don't want you to get confused thinking that this is just one race. No, this is Yah's chosen people, and you'll get to see the variety of people. But that's a part of our virtual retreat. You'll get VIP access.
They're going. But one thing I want to say about that VIP access is there's 6 pillars. If you go study, it's 6 pillars to your life. And so that virtual retreat is going to deal with all 6 pillars. So you got your spiritual pillar, foundation, yes, right? But you also got your physical pillar. So we're going to have experts on each one of these pillars come in. So we're going to deal how do we take care of yourself physically, right? Mm-hmm. And naturally, holistically, not having to use drugs and things like that. Right. You know, we want to get you to a holistic, what I call a Yahuwah organic life. Mm-hmm. You got your mental pillar, mm-hmm. How you make decisions, mm-hmm. right? You know, to get you strong mentally, because you're going to need that in the end times. You got your emotional pillar. That's the difference between mental and emotional. So your emotional pillar, right? How are you affected? Now, we're going to have to really train people up in discipleship, because people, they don't know how to take persecution. You know, they really are affected by the negative opinions of others. Well, you need emotional training with that spiritual training. But you also going to need someone else, some social training. How do you interact with other people? That's another pillar. How do you interact with other people? How do you communicate? You know, do you want to be a trainer? Do you want to be a speaker? Do you want to be someone that goes out there and evangelizes? Well, we got high-level programs to train you how to be a great public speaker. I've been doing it for 28 years as of in 3 days. November 13, 1995, I've been public speaking and training. I've done seminars in 20 countries, Doc. 20 countries I put my feet down in and done major seminars to hundreds of thousands of people over the years. Now, then you got that financial pillar. We can't be having people calling on Yahuwah, accessing his power, and then allowing themselves to be broke. We gonna stop that. We're gonna help people. Yahusha says, no one that comes after me in this lifetime will not receive 100-fold in this lifetime. So people go, well, why is this not working for me? What's going on? What's happening? We all figuring this out together, including me, including Doc, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. I done had a ton of money come through my life, but guess what? Because of different things of learning, because of not having the right scriptures, there was a hole in my sack. How many of you ever felt like you got a hole in your sack? Right? You're like, no matter how much I get, I got a hole in my sack, you know? So, but we've learned, we're wiser now. So now we know how to start to work on accumulation and teach the nation how to be able to do it. That's those 6 pillars. So I didn't want that to slip by, that virtual retreat, because we're going to pack that 6 pillars in that retreat, Doc. Back to you.
Now, how's that sound? Now that is a complete Luke 2:52. And Yahusha increased in wisdom and stature and favor with Yahuwah and man. That's complete. That's what you're going to get at this retreat, that virtual retreat. And by donating that $500, that gives you access. Like Jay just said, he's done this in 20 different countries. You'll be able to get access with the leaders and be able to be a part of that. So that's the silver package. Then we move, that's 500. So we move from 3 to 5. Then we have the gold package. That's $1,000. Again, we would like that paid by December 31st to complete this 7-week project. What you'll get with that is the other 3, plus you're going to get a backpack. I support the truth. Backpack and a blanket. And this is why you're going to need the blanket, because in 2024, when we have our next Sukkot, that's when we gather in tabernacles, we're going to do our first in-person Sukkot. And that's going to be very limited space. But those that are having the gold package, you'll have the first right of refusal. You have the first access to say, I want to participate in that in-person retreat, Sukkot. So you'll get that. And then you also get a personal Zoom call from the leaders to make sure that everything that you're getting, you're understanding, you're comprehending, you're having difficulties, want to talk to you, pray with you, all of that, because we see that you dug deep and went as far as you can to promote the truth. So that is the bronze, the silver, the gold is 1,000. Now we move to the platinum. Now a brother from Hungary who's hungry for the word already gave $2,000 toward his platinum. You have with the platinum, you have actually until March 2024 to pay that off. That's the one I'm praying. That's the one I'm getting. And what we do there, that's $2,500. $2,500. Now we could think of some of the stuff that we spent over the course of our lifetime, $2,500. We only want to talk about it. Some of the stuff that we bought, wasted, and didn't come. This will be something that you'll have. What you gonna get with this? You're gonna get not only the Briyt Hadash or the Hadash, which is the New Testament. You get that bound and covered and signed. You're also going to get our second project, which is the Tanakh, the Old Testament. We're going to have that bound and signed. So you'll get both of them, and then you'll get the completed. So you'll be a part of the whole process. And when we get the t-shirts, the donors, all of the ones who completed this package, your name is going to be on that t-shirt. So these are memorable things that you'll be able to show your kids and your grandkids what you contributed to. I got the New Testament, I got the Old Testament, and I have the completed version. I participated in promoting the truth of Yahuwah. Now, in the final part, we are creating a documentary. All this stuff that we're doing, you guys getting on the live, you guys getting on the gatherings, and Jay, as he's working, what we're doing behind the scenes, we are creating a documentary. And if you've seen the videos, it's not like cut and paste. It's not like Jay is in his basement trying to put together. This is professionally done. This is first class. And just like Jay said, you could speak more about it, Jay. Right. We actually want to produce films. That's the quality that we're dealing with. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a copy of the documentary. And guess who's going to be included in it? You. We're going to ask you to send us a video.
Hey, actually, I want to comment on that. We're going to have our professionals bring them into a virtual session like this, so they don't have to be responsible for recording something. We'll bring them in a professional setting and we'll kind of, direct them. Here's how you give your testimonial, so it'll be very professional. I want to say that, Doc.
You in the documentary, and that's forever. Leo, line by head. We're not going to edit you out after 2-3 years. You're a part of it. So that's $300 for the bronze. That's $500 for the silver. That's $1,000 for the gold. And it's $2,500 for the platinum. We have 7 weeks. Platinum, you can pay over 4 months. But the 7 weeks to get this in. So I want to know from our viewers that are on there, or if you get on later and you plan on giving, all the information is right there. You don't even have to talk about it. Tell me that you just gave it. I just cashed that. Promote the truth. I just used my Zelle or my Venmo at promotethetruth.com. So we want you to support it. We're not with Jay. I've never seen Jay get on and ask for money. It's not about, because we all work just like Paul. That's the motivational speaker, and he does his thing, and I do my thing on the boxing. We're not lazy, just looking to be taken care of. We're looking to take care of Yahuwah's business. So if you're able to contribute, if it's not today, then tomorrow. But we need this by December the 31st to meet our goal, and we know that Yahuwah is going to do it.
That's awesome, man. All right, so head over tsnt.org. Go ahead. You can utilize your credit card, debit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, crypto, stock. You can transfer some stock over and be able to contribute. If you need to use the Venmo, there it is. Venmo, Promote the Truth. PayPal's info@promotethetruth.com. And so we got different ways. Zelle is info@promotethetruth.com. So listen, I want to do something here in this next portion of the telethon. This is over actually on the Promote the Truth website. Now, I wrote all these words on, I should say almost every one of these words on this site, because Yahuwah was working through my fingers as he was teaching me more and more about the truth. This all started back in 2007.
Okay.
So of course, it's got a big facelift as the years went by, and now we own a multimedia company and all that kind of good stuff. So it looks way better than it used to be. I gotta bring y'all up a picture of the old site. David, did you ever see the old site? The old little. No. We had an old cheap looking site. Is there anybody watching this remember the old Promote the Truth site? So this new one's been up for 3 years. Okay, so 2007 to 2020, that's 13 years. It was just an old little piece of site. But we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails and thank you. And then we watched people use these trainings to go create other groups and other organizations spreading Yahuwah's word. Because you could not type in Yahuwah in May of 2007, family. If you type Yahuwah's name in Google, 0 results. That's a fact.
Right.
Is that hard to believe, David?
That was hard to believe.
Nothing. If you typed it in back then, MSN, nothing. Excite used to be a big search engine. Nothing. Alta Vista was a big search engine. Nothing. There was only one place you would find something about Yahuwah's name. It was 3 or 4 different links, and that was in Yahoo. Isn't that unique? So yahoo.com, Yahuwah. Is there any coincidence? I don't think so. Come on. Have you ever thought about that?
Why did they name theirs Yahoo?
Because they said Yahoo is the happiest word in the world.
Yahuwah.
Yahoo. Remember that thing all the time? That's their commercial. Yahoo. It's just happy. And literally they say, and I believe that the first words that a person has when they're coming to this world is Yahuwah. When the baby screams out, they say the baby's saying Yahuwah. They say it's the breath of life. Wow. Now, let me tell you why Yahuwah's name is so important. Because if you just open your mouth, you can say his name. And this is why you know that Yahuwah is not right. You know Jehovah is not right. You know Yahweh is not right. Watch. This is how you know. Because Yahuwah's name is the breath of life, and your tongue never needs to touch the roof of your mouth. Your tongue doesn't need to touch your teeth. Your lips don't have to touch in order to say Yahuwah's name. You ever realize that, Doc? You ever realize that?
No. I'm
Open
doing
your
it now.
so you do it now. Give us a Yahuwah, Dr. David, without touching your tongue, your lip. Just say Yahuwah.
Yahuwah. You are correct. Yahuwah.
Yahuwah. Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
That's
Yahuwah.
breath. Yahuwah.
Yahuwah. It's the breath of life.
Yes, sir.
It's in us, the breath of life. That's right, Martin. Martin said, praise Yahuwah.
That's a McDaniel. My family is McDaniels.
Yes, you do not have to touch your teeth, your roof of your mouth, or nothing. That's why look, I got to touch.
Right.
I have my teeth got to touch.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. My lips got to touch. We know that's not Yahuwah's name. Yahuwah. It's just breath. The baby cries, man. Yeah. All right. So if you go over to promote the truth, the tab in the middle at the top, it says, and Doc, I wrote this like a couple years ago. Man, I think I probably wrote this. No, I wrote this long, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
It says Hebrew Aramaic origins of the New Testament. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm. Hebrew, Aramaic.
Have you ever read that link on the site yet, Doc?
I think I got that.
Hebrew, like if you go to origin, you hover over origins.
Okay.
You're going to see Hebrew Aramaic origins of the New Testament. You click on that. I'm going to read you just a little bit of it. All right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Aramite is the correct name. Aramite. Aramite. I don't know if this works over here. I'm just trying something, fam. I'm on Ara. Oh, it worked.
Okay.
Did y'all see that in y'all's chats? Let me see if it can.
Mm-hmm.
No kidding, it worked. I didn't know what because we're in a software system that allows us to stream to multiple platforms. I didn't know I could type in something. All right, so Aramite is the exact because you're gonna see all of these different pronunciations. We're keeping the alphabet, right? The aleph bat. We're keeping that very simple, right? So we're letting a tau. He says, I'm the aleph and the tau. That means the beginning and the end. The first letter in Hebrew is an aleph. The last letter is a tau. I am the aleph and the tau. So we're keeping the spellings very simple. We're letting an aleph be an A.
Right.
We're letting the tau be a T. Right?
Right.
So we're not going to mix it all up because you'll see with Talmud influenced Judaism, they'll play around with like the het and these different things, and sometimes they'll make it have a k sound when it should always have an H sound.
Okay.
So that's why you hear us say Briyt Hadash.
I just picked up on that. Okay.
Not a k, because that is a hat there, right? And not a ka.
Okay.
So we're teaching people the right way. Okay. Now, Hebrew, and I can give you some of these spellings. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you some of this today. We're gonna learn. What is that? You're gonna learn what them young people say, you're gonna learn today. All right. So, as a matter of fact, let me go get it for y'all. And y'all gonna get this in the Truth Scripture. You'll have an index. You're gonna have an index in there. You're gonna love that you got this index. All right. So let me grab it for you. Bam. All right. It's very simple. All right. I'm gonna put it back in here. I'm gonna stick this in the chat, and I'm gonna give you the Hebrew spelling of that too. There you go. You see that? It's a bari. Let me see if I can give that to you also in Aramaic. Okay, let's give you that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna get the Aramite. Learn a little Hebrew today.
All right.
Hold on, it was giving it to me now. What happened to my comments? It was working, now it ain't working. All right. I think it was tripping out when they started seeing them Hebrew letters.
I got the
I,
first two, Aramaic and Abari.
I don't want to do that. Let me put this in here. And I'm going to show you how it's being spelled. See, that way you can know how to start doing this. Do you see that in there? I put the Aramaic in there too now. All right, there you go. See that, Doc?
Mm-hmm. I can read it.
All right. So when you're looking at the Abari, you see, you see the first, and Hebrew reads from right to left. So you start over on the right side and you go right to left.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give you some cool charts too. Like right now, we're working on a chart to show you the progression of how these letters, how they changed over the years. So we want to give you that too. So I'll be maybe in the next session. I'll show at the 2:00 session. Maybe I'll show some charts so people can get some good insight on some of these things. How do you feel about that type of stuff, Doc? When when we're letting people see and hear more of that, does that
Well,
that well with you?
Yeah, this is great. Because even as I said, the teaching that I taught, I'm getting the incorrect pronunciation of even the simple things of the alphabet, which is causing me to mistranslate others. So when we look at the Hebrew, now when I read it, it was Eber. So it's not Eber, it's Abari. So that's what I'm saying. Those little subtle things where they taught us how to pronounce certain things, it just totally pronunciation.
But just let the I in,
Mm-hmm.
which is that first one. Just let that I in is usually like more of a silent A instead of a harsher A. So
Right.
like the aleph is going to be more like and the ayin, Aramaic, it kind of flows, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then you can see there that if we just let that be that little cool, subtle A, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're dealing with the Aramaic. Let's deal with the Aramaic, then we'll go do the Abari. So
Mm-hmm.
let's go down to the bottom, right there we see Aramaic. All right, got it? So
Mm-hmm.
you got it, you have an aleph, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got a Rosh, you
Mm-hmm.
got a Mam,
Mm-hmm.
you got a Yod, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have a
Ah.
Tau,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is look at that, Ra, M. So there's natural, that R is gonna give you a natural A vowel sound, so it's Aram. And now I got a Yod. Now the Yod in Spanish, it really teaches us how to deal with that Y because it's more like a E sound, Yahuwah. Even when you say Yahuwah, it's kind of like Yahuwah. You hear the E,
Oh, okay.
Yahuwah,
Okay.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why that is typically it's a IY to get the E sound, right?
Okay.
To get the E. So Aram E T. Aramit.
Yeah.
There you go. You
Mm-hmm.
spell it out. Go up to the Hebrew, Abari. There's your ayin,
Mm-hmm.
ba. There's your bat,
Mm-hmm.
r. There's your rosh again, and there's your yod. So I got my IE in it. So Abari.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Very simple.
Easy.
So over on the Promote the Truth page, we say, you're right, Yvette. The Hebrew rules are shorter. They're just kind of to the point. There's not a lot of waste in the language. All right. Below is evidence which clearly points towards the Briyt Hadash, sign name New Testament. So when you see that SN on our site, sign name, meaning it's been assigned this type of name, really meaning the pagan name of it, right? Which clearly points to the sign name New Testament being originally written in Aramaic Abari and not Uani. Now, what is Uani, fam? Somebody know what Uani is? Put it in the chat if y'all know what Uani is. Get some participation in the chat. Come on in the chat, fam. I'm gonna type it in here. Let me type it in here for y'all. Make sure y'all ready to go. Everybody in the chat who's paying attention.
You
All
got
right.
it, Bet Neil. She gonna get it.
Uani. There you go, Sherry. Sherry got it.
I'll take it, Sherry.
That's the Greek. There you go. See?
Mm-hmm.
So the Hebrew word for Greek is yuani. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to put the spelling of that in there too, Doc?
You got it. It's in there.
I'm gonna go on and knock it out for y'all.
The Greek spelling.
Yeah, you want me to put that in there too? Here we go. I'll put that. All right. That way you can see, well, how do we get that? How do we get to the way Jay spelled it? See, you're going, why did he spell it that way? Look, there you go. Yod, ua, ua. Right? Nan, yo. You, there's two U's there. There's your yod. And see, I'm not making that first yod an IY because there is a vowel coming right after it. So the vowel's going to stand there on its own. That's why you get U instead of E. You're going to get a U, Y, U, and E. Very simple. This is very simple that we're going to be able to show people this and put together courses and train them. All right.
Love it.
So
Love it.
Written in the Aramaic and Abari and not the Yuani sign named Greek. Christianity itself is tainted with Yuani thinking, which is like Hellenized. They call it Hellenized, right?
Yep.
Let me get some. This is good. This is good. This is good. All right. Let me make sure I got all that stuff. And I'm proud of Sherry, by the way. Way to go, Sherry. Way to get that word in there real quick.
And Yvette.
Yvette got it? Yeah. Hey, Yvette. All right. So Hellenized creeds. So what's Hellenized creeds? That's ways of the Greeks. So what were the ways of the Greeks? What are the Greeks really known for over history, Doc?
Well, one is of course the sports, doing the Olympics. They had the culture that they had taken from the Egyptians. So they were philosophers, they were thinkers, and of course that culture even moved into the Romans, where the Romans, even though they conquered the Greeks, continued with the Greek culture, and that's still the culture that we're in today, the Roman culture.
So think about that.
The Greek culture.
Oh, look at Yvette says, straight up pagan.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that video, it's off the chart. I mean, it just broke down, man. Like, you know, where's Zeus, Thor, right? Poseidon, Hades. So that's the ways of the Greeks. And unscriptural practices derived from Greco-Roman infusions through the Yuani translated Briyt Hadash. Scholars, though, are increasingly validating, and I put in parentheses, having to admit, the case for an Aramaic Abari, that's an Aramaic Hebrew original Briyt Hadash, named New Testament. We include some of their documentation in this short study. So we actually went to the lengths to go, here goes a list of all these scholars who are now having to admit that the Briyt Hadash was written originally in either Aramaic or Hebrew. Right. That's all at the bottom of that page. So you can go down there and y'all can go get the books and you go study this stuff. Go do what I did.
So it wasn't written in the Greek the way we were taught.
No way. No way.
So you mean to tell me that Yahusha, who was a Hebrew, born of a Hebrew mother, and
why did they give him? Why didn't he walk around with a Greek name if it was Greek?
That's what I was about to say. So he didn't speak Greek.
Never. Now, has anybody got a recording of Yahusha speaking Greek?
No, I just wanted to make sure.
I want to see if anybody can come and put a recording up there that he's recorded as ever speaking Greek. I don't know who got a recording of Matityahu ever speaking Greek or Kappa ever speaking Greek. The only one that they know of that spoke some Greek, and even over in Mahashim Acts, when Paul would they say he spoke some Greek, he immediately went back to talking Abari and Aramaic.
That's right.
And most people don't get it, that Paul did not go out initially hardcore to the Gentiles. How come that don't get taught? Paul went hardcore to the Yahudim, the people that were, quote, Jewish. That's where he went hardcore first.
Mm-hmm.
Then he expanded out. All right.
Love it.
We conclude that the Briyt Hadash was inspired in the Aramaic and Abari, and then later translated into the UNE Greek. This testimony to this is voluminous, like it's huge and logical. One needs only to consider that the writers were themselves Abarim, Hebrews.
Yeah.
At the end of this article is a list of scholars and their writing supporting an original Aramaic Hebrew Briyt Hadash. This list is by no means the total amount of scholars admitting the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I just found an error on the website. This is cool. I can go fix that right now while we're in here teaching. See, but this is cool. This is, we're in here having some fun, fam. We're gonna wrap this up, guys, in about 15 minutes. Are y'all enjoying this? Come on, put something in the chat if y'all enjoying this. And are you supporting? Have you went over and done some kind of support? Have you supported?
Are we able to see that real time, Jay?
Yeah, we see it real time.
Any supporting? Well, we got 2,000 yesterday, 100 today.
Let's go. We'll go. Let me get this website fixed, and we're gonna get a little update when we get done here on the thing
right.
here. Here we go. But
Beth
go on.
said she
I
having a
tell
great
people,
time.
if you believe in this, like put your stamp in there. Do something. $5. That's what I tell people. Like, that's blessed money. That's in good ground. That's good seed and good ground. Good seed and good ground. Most of y'all blowing money all over the place. You need to put something in the kingdom to expedite the work of the kingdom. And that's up to you. Yahusha, when he was here, he said, my sheep will hear my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confident in that. And I know what we do, and I know what we're getting ready to do. And I know we're going to teach people to think right. You know, most people funny. Look, Yvette says, absolutely I am. Come on, Yvette. Get in there. Get your name on the board. We want to brag on you, by the way. We want to brag on you. While I'm going over to fix this one thing, real quick, Doc, deal with the subject of money. Why are people in the spiritual community so weird about money? What's up with that? Talk to me. He said,
that's a good question. But when you don't have anything to hide, we shouldn't have any problem with money. Talking about money. If Yahusha talked about money, then we could talk about money. If you feel you got something to hide, then you don't want to talk about it. But we can just challenge this right away. In order to do certain things, it's going to cost money. We know that the widow, she gave up everything that she had. Two mites, 2 pennies, but that was enough. That was 100% of what.
Why did she give money anyway?
Why did she give money? Money was what was required. That was the source of trade.
What's the source of trade today?
It's still money.
It's money, man.
It's still money. And the love of money is the root of all evil. We're not.
Hey, wait till you see the translation on that, Doc.
That was wrong?
Yes.
See, that's why we need the truth. we got the bronze. We got the silver, we got the gold, we got
man. All right. Let me do this. I know that the Spirit speaks to me for a reason, because I had no idea it was gonna spin over into this. Okay. I didn't know you were gonna say the love of my, right? Like, I've dealt with this multiple times because I'm looking at the translations.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Sherry want to know what she can donate.
Here you go, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry.
tsnt.org says. tsnt.org will take you right up to the page. All right, Doc. How much can we help the world, especially the people that are spiritual people, if they have a proper translation on one of the most misquoted verses of all time. They say the love of money. How many of y'all heard that? Put that in the chat, that the love of money is the root of all evil. Put in the chat if you've heard that and if you've been living your life actually believing that, right? If you've been actually believing, yeah, you know, money's not, you hear people say, money's not the root of all evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. They'll say that. And I'm like, where'd you get that translated? Where'd you hear that from? All right, let's go very basic. Where'd you hear that from? All right, this role play with me, Doc, because that's what you believe. You're a doctor of theology, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
You got a doctorate degree. Is that right there in the back? Which one of them is your doctorate degree? I see something back there.
Right here.
All right, that's his doctorate. You got a doctorate degree of theology. Yvette said, I have. Okay, here we go. All right. So, Doc, you've been taught and you have believed that the love of money is the root of all evil. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did you get that from?
I thought it was the Bible. Now, let me pull up that verse. Because they done told me wrong. You keep going.
Y'all see Doc's face? How many of y'all see Doc's face? This is hilarious. I'm telling you, this is what's keeping a lot of y'all for money.
Right.
I mean, they shall know the truth, and the truth will do what? Will set them free. How many of y'all would like to have more freedom when it comes to money?
Yes, sir. I'm going to go to 1 Timothy. Let me see if we got it there.
This is great.
Get it.
This is great, y'all. We had to slow it down for this one. This came out of nowhere.
All right. 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse number 10. And I'm going to read it in the King James is what I was brought up on.
Okay.
All right. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So we're taught.
Now in that verse, even in the King James, they gave it up.
Okay.
Even in that verse, they told you the correct translation.
All right,
because you got to understand. Let me ask you a question. Like, let's think right in this telethon, and we're wrapping up. All right, now here we go. If I tell you I don't love you, would that make you feel good or bad?
Bad.
So if you see, money is an energy. It is a source. Money is created by Yahuwah. He's made it available. For you to tell something you don't love it and expect to have it, can you tell your spouse, I don't love you, and expect her to stay with you?
Got it.
Talk to me, family. Can you tell your spouse, your significant other, I don't love you?
I see where you're going now.
Because that's the root of all evil if I love you.
Okay.
It's actually evil for me to love you. That doesn't make any sense to tell something you don't love it, but then you need it.
I got it.
It's in the verse. And if you just look in the Aramaic,
I got it.
You got it. It's the coveting of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
There you go. Be free. Set yourself free. If you covet money, if you hoard money, that's the root of all evil. But the word love ain't there. It ain't there.
I'm going to the Sefer now. I'm going to step above the King James. Wait a minute.
Hold over there.
This why we need the true scriptures. All right, I'm going to go to 6:10. No, it's the same. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from it. So same thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I know why.
Yes, sir.
Because what's happened is a lot of these folks that got rid of the pagan words, they didn't get rid of all the pagan philosophies.
Right.
Who more than anybody would want you to feel this way with that translation? Who more than anybody? What's the beast power that's telling you don't love money, but give it to us? That's the Catholic Church.
Wow.
That's Constantine. Don't you love that money? Put that in there. Tell them that the love of money is the root of all evil. You got to give it to us.
Can I add to it now that I got it?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So if I love my wife, if I love my kids, I should say, and I want to do for them, I need money to do for them.
Right.
So it'd be a fool to say I don't love money when money is affording me to love those that I say that I love.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You gonna get them something to eat? You provide them food?
Yeah.
What's your relationship with money? Like, are you having an issue with money? I mean, because I'm telling you, man, if you believe that the love of money is the root of all evil, why do you even deal with it at all? Like, get away from it. See how long you can make it on this earth.
I'm changing my energy, Jay.
I'm telling people, if you believe that, go out in the woods somewhere, do your best to live off the land with all you got, and never ever need any services that are in this world. See how you can put. Now, some people can pull that off. There's some people right now in the jungles, out in the Amazon. No electricity, no doctors. It's all, they gonna live or die based upon what they are able to do.
I know you got, we wrapping it up, but you saying the Catholic Church. Most of us are not Catholic, but we understand.
Well, I'm telling you, if you're a Christian, you're Catholic.
All right, tell me about it.
That's the mother.
Okay.
They brag about it. Haven't you seen them brag about it? You ever seen them brag about it, David? Dr. David? Huh?
Yes, sir.
They brag about it. They literally are telling all the Christian churches, they're like punking all the Christian churches going, you guys are saying that you protested against us, yet you follow what we tell you to do. We're the ones that changed the Sabbath. And you follow after us. They bold. They bold about it.
So when we had our church fathers, I'm using my Christian background, my degrees. We had the Reformers, the Martin Luthers, the John Calvins, the Zwinglies. So when Martin posted that 93 Theses to the church, and we moved away from a lot of things that we were doing, but we still kept the root of what the Catholic Church was doing. As you said, worshiping on the wrong day. We moved away from paying indulgences and purgatory, but we still kept the mindset of the Trinity. We still kept the false names. We kept the days, things that they told us to do, that the Bible say clearly do, and they say not to do, and we do. So we are, if they're the mother, then what does that make the Christian church? We the daughter.
Linda is coming in the room. She said this is great. How many of y'all appreciate this? This is it. We're the daughter. I mean,
great time.
Matter of fact, in the next session, I'm gonna read y'all some of the bold claims that the Catholic Church makes in regards to this. I'll read you some of the bold claims. They raw about it. They just like, look, like, why are you keeping Christmas? Why are you keeping all these holidays and you ain't keeping the set apart days? Huh? Why are people doing that? Who you think influenced you to do that? That's that strong delusion that's been sent, given the power through Satan to get you to follow them. You're just worshiping the sun. You walking around with crosses. You worshiping Tammuz.
Come on, man.
You walking around with fish symbols. You worshiping Ichthus. You walking around with these buildings got steeples on them. That's Nimrod's pecker. You putting Christmas trees in your house. You putting those balls on it. That's his testicles.
That's it.
Right? That little drizzle you put down, that's his semen.
What about Easter?
Huh?
Where we get Easter?
That's the Catholic Church, I'm telling you. Everybody in the world, it says the whole world wonders after it.
That's Ishtar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
hey, you know who that is? And guess where a big old symbol's at in front of everybody's face?
Catholic, the Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty.
Can I tell you something, Jay?
Yeah.
Now that is, if we take it all the way back, we know that's Semiramis, the wife of Nimrod. If you go to the, and I'll have it for the next one, but if you go to the Congressional Medal of Honor and you look up, and we'll talk about it step by step, but if you look up the design of the Statue of Liberty and the Congressional Medal of Honor that contains the Statue of Liberty, it will tell you that this is derived from the Phoenician deity Semiramis. Don't even hide it.
I'm telling you, man, the whole world wonders after it. Mm-hmm. Hazun 12:9 has come true. Mm-hmm. Satan goes about and deceives the entire world. So the thing, if you're listening, you got to be humble to that. You got to say, is it possible that I was deceived? Yes. I knew I was deceived. I said, I was deceived. And guess what that made me do? Once I admitted I was deceived, it cut me to my heart. I was contrite. How you going to know that you really are a follower of Yahuwah? You had to have a contrition, a cutting in your spirit. You had to have a separation feeling like, man, I was doomed. But I heard the word of Yahuwah. Like, why did Yahuwah allow you to hear what you're hearing today? From some of we've been sent. I know he sent me to say these things. It's impossible not for it to be, because I try to run from it. So nobody can come tell me I'm up here trying to do this for self-gain, because I literally told the creator of all back in 1993, I said, leave me alone. I don't have nothing to do with this. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to talk about it. This is all a scheme. It's a sham. Religion is ridiculous. And then I started running, just like Jonah. I ran and ran and ran. And I just naturally didn't go, I want to go preach and evangelize and teach. All this. That's not something that I was naturally wanting to do. I play professional sports. Come on, y'all. Y'all know athlete. I was in that world. I was in that world of heading towards fame and fortune and this world. And I'm telling the creator, leave me alone. And guess what? Would he leave you and all alone? No. And the crazy part is he wouldn't kill me. I'm literally, man, like, hey, one of my closest friends, when my parents got divorced when I was 9, my dad moved to Florida. I moved down to Florida when I just turned 16. I had a gentleman that embraced me. Now, in the town I lived in, there was only 4 black families in the whole town. So I went to high school. It was very minuscule black children in that black kids in that high school. So it was a different experience, a lot of pressure, right? Being in the South too. But I had this close friend, man, white guy. His name was Jerry. And he treated me like a brother. He pulled me in, looked after me, made sure that I felt comfortable. Like I would go out, go to parties and stuff. I'd be the only black person there. And he always like covered me. Like y'all, because he was well respected. He was a top athlete, and I was a, high profile athlete. So he covered me. So in 1993, I was so confused, man. Like when I became an ordained Baptist minister in 1992.
Okay.
And I got so disillusioned with that. I don't know how you feel about that, man. I was wanting to do the quote Bible. I wanted to follow the Bible.
Right.
And I couldn't understand how come people didn't really want to follow the Bible. I'd be talking to pastors and I'm going, it says this here, and I got so frustrated with it. Then I went to the Seventh-day Adventist church, started out a Baptist, got ordained as a Baptist minister. Then they were going to get me ordained in the Seventh-day Adventist. They were going to pay for my college, give me a scholarship, everything. And I was like, well, look, what about this in the scriptures, right? It's saying this here. And they wouldn't follow it all. And I found this is a joke. And I told the creator, leave me alone. And literally, I went from preaching to buck wild overnight.
Okay.
I'm being raw with y'all on this live. Ain't no hiding no games.
Mm-hmm.
I just went crazy. I had quit baseball. I called my agent up, said, "Hey man, I'm coming back to play ball. Get me, I signed with the Colorado Rockies, and I went on back and just went into that materialistic world. Told the creator, leave me alone." Well, during that off season, '93, when I went down to Florida to train because my dad was living there and that was better weather. As I was going back to play ball, man, I got so depressed. I was gonna kill myself. I don't know if anybody's ever been there. Where I was so distraught, so depressed that I felt like committing suicide. And one night I was gonna do it. And one of my friends next to Jerry, we had a very tight-knit group, talked me out of doing it. One night, for a fact, I was gonna kill myself in 1993. I'm gonna tell you, my dad will tell you the story. It was 2 times I was gonna do it. One time I had a .357 pistol, and I said, "That's it." I came down the stairs in my condominium. I stopped middle of the stairs. I hadn't talked to my dad in weeks or whatever. He was in Florida. I was in Kentucky at the time. I sat there on the middle of the stairs. I took the .357, pulled the hammer back. I said, "That's it." I went up, put the pistol to my head. As soon as I got it right at my temple, the phone started ringing. As soon as I got that pistol about right there, the phone started ringing. Now, I'm going to date myself because y'all remember this. Y'all remember the voicemail days where your phone would ring 4 times and it go to voicemail, right? When you picked your phone up, if you heard that means you had a message and you hit certain numbers. Mm-hmm. So the phone rang. One time I said, after the 4th ring, I'll go ahead and pull the trigger. The phone ring, 1 ring, 2 ring, 3 rings, 4th ring. I was ready to pull it, and it kept ringing, David. I kid you not. That phone would not stop ringing. I promise y'all, before Yahuwah is my witness, I'm telling you that phone would not stop ringing. It literally, after about 10 times, I'm like, this has got to be some crazy sign. I undid the trigger, the hammer, put the gun down, went down. The phone's still ringing. Now, 2 things. If somebody's calling, they're not going to go past 4 or 5 rings. Maybe if it's still ringing, maybe 7, 8, right? But you get into the 10, 15 rings. I go down, the phone still ringing. We got to be on like the 18th, 20th ring. I picked the phone up. It was my daddy. And my daddy said, "Hey, boy, what's going on with you?" And I said, "Why, Dad, what's going on?" He said, "I just had a feeling I had to call you, see what's going on." My dad, I'll bring him on here. He'll tell y'all that time. I'll bring him in here. He will tell you. He goes, "What's going on with you?" He said, "I just felt like I needed to call you." And I said, "Dad, I ain't doing too good." That's what he said. "You need to get on down here. You just come on, spend time together, get on. We'll go fishing, you start working out. Just come on, get on us, And so that's what made me go on down. So when I went down, then I was going to do it again. I still wasn't right. Well, my good friend talks me out of it. The next morning, I'm at the baseball field. I'm working out at my old high school. I see my old high school coach walking down the fence. He's waving me over. I go over there. And he says, "Jerry just killed himself this morning."
Oh.
So my close friend that took me under the wing still hurts me to this day. I still feel that sting to this day. That's why I hear the scripture says, "Oh, death, where is your sting?" When Yahuwah takes that sting away, because that still has a sting in me. And Jerry and I had a lot in common. Like, he had a very challenging relationship with his mother. I had one with mine. Like, my mom jetted when I was 8 years old. She just left a note one day on the table. She was gone. And so it's, Jerry killed himself, man. He left us a note, and he's got tears on that note. He went in the garage. He turned his Jeep on. He put the pool, the thing that cleans your pool. He put that pipe over the exhaust. He put a blanket over his head, and he just sucked in that carbon monoxide and killed himself. But while he was doing it, he was writing a note. and he didn't get it finished, but you could see tears on the note. And he said, "I'm so sorry to us, his close friends." He says, "I just couldn't deal with the pain of how my mother's been to me all these years."
Man, Jay.
See, all of us been through stuff, man. That's why you got to show love. You got to show caring. You got to be strong while showing love and caring. And I'm telling y'all, that almost took me to my knees when Jerry did that. So he did it. Somehow or another, I kept myself together. Had one of my best years ever when I went back and played, but I felt like a hole in me the whole time. And I just ran. And I just told, especially when Jerry killed himself, I told back then GOD, leave me alone. I want nothing with none of this. You turned your back on me. He wouldn't do it. He just wouldn't do it. He kept presenting things and presenting things and presenting things. And I kept hearing in my spirit, I gave you a gift. You're going to have to use it. I've been in some craziest car wrecks ever. I'm supposed to die. I wouldn't die. I've had to flipped over, flying through the woods, come out, a couple scratches on my hand. The sheriff's saying somebody was trying to find the body down there in the woods. And I'm sitting there looking at them going, ask me. They go, it's impossible. Like I'm telling you, Yahoo has made it clear to me, you are not dying until you do what I've told you to do. He ain't gonna let me out. And now I love it. See, I learned to love it. I learned to love that difference, being set apart. I learned to love that remnant. I love that. I love that this is so much fire. I love if you say Yahoo, it stops everybody in their tracks. And though I have had a little strength at times, yet I have not denied his name. So when I found his name in 2007 and I called on him, it changed me. It took that complete evil, dark, want to kill myself spirit and burn it up and replaced it with the power. What does he say, David? And you shall receive power when the Spirit comes upon you. Are y'all empowered? Are y'all walking in Yahuwah's power? So I'm sharing. That's why these lives, these telethons are so great. If y'all have appreciated this, man, drop some comments. Dave, let's wrap this thing up, man. tsnt.org. If y'all feel led to get that's why I'm telling y'all, when we're doing the translations over here, we done been through, I done walked away from millions of dollars. I done been drugged all over the place. I done had my name smeared all over the place. You know what? I can't. What's the worst thing gonna happen? Is the truth. So David, just take us out of here. What's people need to do? And then we'll be back here at 2 p.m. Eastern.
I'm looking forward to the 2 p.m. session. I just learned a lot about you right there, Jay. I'm learning real time myself. So it just helps me just to see that you got a testimony to get where you are. I'm in mind where you are, but to hear how you had to get there. So praise y'all for you. As we just close out with this portion, just thank everybody for tuning in. Our beginning of our 7-week campaign for people that are watching this live. You could say, I was a part of that the first day of that 7-week campaign. So we hope that some of you will give on the first day. You can say on the very first day, how can I support? I'm glad you asked. We have our Cash App. Is that well, we can go to the donor box. What's that page, Jay?
So if they go over to tsnt.org, tsnt.org.
He sees it. Okay, so Mac, that's how you can support. But we want you all to be a part of it. Like Jay said, I gave you a number so that we can begin with 100. Then we have different packages, 300, 500. But whatever it is, I don't want you to feel, oh man, I can only give $25. I can only give $10. That's $10 more that we had. You are contribute the widow mite. That's how we got on the love of money in the beginning. But that's how you can do it. You can be a part of this. A part of, I didn't know that, Jay. A part of this man was 2 seconds away from blowing his brains out. But y'all said, I got something for you to do. And I'm going to interrupt the phone system. I'm going to tell your daddy to call you and to let that thing ring, because you need to get to your son, because he has to be here today, a part of this project. And you're a part of it. If you're on the line, we've been on here for an hour and 50 minutes, Jay. So if you stepped on this live, that's you that's participating in all of these. I love it. You right there. Info at Promote the Truth for Zelle, PayPal, Venmo. We got Cash App. You got Apple Pay. Any way that you want to pay. So we look forward to it. 2 p.m. Eastern time. We coming back, and then y'all getting some more. I told you when Jay say turn with me. That's check. Now I thought it was going to be checkmate in 3. We did 2 Thessalonians 2 verses 1 to 9. He hit Daniel chapter 11. What was the verses in Daniel chapter 11?
Go back over there. We was going in, bro.
We was going in, but he got checkmate in 2 scriptures. Just turn twice, and that's checkmate, and that's what he does because he's been gifted through his studies.
That's Daniel 11, 36 through 39.
11, 36 through 39. So we look forward to what we're gonna learn, and we learned some Abari. We learned some Greek. How we pronounce the Greek in Hebrew? Yuani. And we're gonna continue this. So at 2 p.m., come back. Just participate. Even if you could stay on 15, 20, if you could stay on the whole time, we appreciate you. Please, please, please go and give to this 7-week campaign. 7 weeks to get it done from now to December 31st.
Hey, Y.S. Thomas said he's coming in with something on his next payday. We appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much for that. Everybody can do a little bit. And then Kit said, can we do something in the prisons? Absolutely. That's why we got to build up, you see. And you got to have people that are great stewards when you build it up. That's why we got to build it up the right way. Throwing all this money into these buildings is ridiculous. Y'all not gonna see no big old Promote the Truth building ever.
We're not getting no building, Jay.
We ain't getting ain't got no building fund. No. We're gonna be in secure. We're gonna buy campgrounds.
Okay.
And where people can go out with their families. We're gonna buy parks and stuff like that where people can have space to come and enjoy the nature and forget the buildings.
Yeah, so we only concerned with building Yahuwah's kingdom. We don't need the actual buildings.
All right. Now we said, hey, Yvette, you said you gave today, sis?
Yvette gave.
All right. Proud of you. Thank you, Yvette.
No buildings, Kit.
Thank you, Kit. I guess he's calling me and you the buildings today. That's right. Okay. We building for the kingdom. Yes, all right, y'all. We'll see y'all at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right back here on our YouTube and our Facebook. We want to thank all of our Facebook viewers for chiming in, all of our YouTube for chiming in. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Get over to tsnt.org and give. And you've also got your other options. We love y'all. Coming back with some more heat, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye-bye.
Only promote the truth.